So this is my STI that I'm giving away, and I've read the comments and I understand and I agree. This car is a little bit too rowdy for a lot of you guys, so I'm gonna do the responsible thing and make the car a little bit slower. Now here is exactly what we are gonna do with this car. Whoever ends up winning the car, I'm going to tailor the build exactly how you want. We're gonna hop on the phone, and if you say you wanna make 800 wheel, we're gonna go down to say a 64 millimeter turbo. If you wanna make 500 wheel, 55 millimeter turbo, so on and so forth. If you wanna make 1,000 wheel, well, the car made 1,017 on the current setup, so it's gonna stay as is. The cool thing about that, this is quite literally the best engine that you can put in a Subaru. A full IAG Stage 4 Extreme short block, IAG Stage 5 cylinder heads. You cannot get any better of an engine, which means this thing is gonna last forever, especially if it's turned down a little bit. Whatever you guys want, whatever the winner decides is what we're gonna do. Car will be completely retuned, and not only that, I'm also gonna be tailoring the looks of the car as well. I do realize that it is an STI. A ton of people, and quite frankly myself included, are not the biggest fan of air ride. So the winner is also gonna be able to choose whether or not they wanna keep the air ride or go to a nice high quality coilover setup. And I figured, let's make it a little bit better. If you don't like these very beautiful Advan GTs, which in my opinion, you'd be crazy if you didn't like the Advans, I'm gonna let the winner choose whatever set of wheels that they want. TE37s, done. 57 Extremes, done. Advan GTs, done. That's the scoop. I completely agree with you guys. Giving away a car that makes 1,017 wheel horsepower is crazy. Now, even though there are maps all the way from 300 wheel to 1,017, a lot of you guys are scared that it's just too rowdy, which it is. It's very, very quick. So this very beautiful Hyperblue STI is going to be tailored to exactly how you want it. First link down below. This is one of the shorter giveaways that I've ever done. It's only 2 weeks long, and if you decide that you really don't want the car whatsoever, which is crazy, you can also pick $20,000 in cash money. Today we are going to be installing this and this onto this. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. So we are embarking on the drive-by-wire process on the Evo 8. If you want to do this on your Evo 8 or Evo 9, a couple things that you need. Number one, you're gonna need a good standalone ECU. We have a Haltech Elite 2500 on the car. There's plenty of good ones out there. I'm a big Haltech guy. I really like the Haltech products. You're gonna need a throttle pedal. I am utilizing a factory, an OEM Evo 10 throttle pedal, and you will need a throttle body, a drive-by-wire throttle body. I really like the Bosch throttle bodies, made in Germany, high quality units, not crazy expensive. And of course, you're gonna need some wiring, a few skills to wire up the car. Now, before we dive into converting this car from drive-by-cable to drive-by-wire, let's talk about why I'm going to drive-by-wire. I think it's just a better system overall. There's a few key reasons why pretty much all of my cars go to drive-by-wire eventually. First is the elimination of the idle air control valve. The idle air control valve on an Evo 8 or 9 is a stepper motor. They are kind of junky. The one on this car is actually out right now. To replace that IACV with a new OEM unit is $500, which I'm pretty sure I'm into this whole conversion less than $500. So that's the first thing. Number two, TPS sensor. On here, it's internal. You only have one wiring plug-in. On there, it's an external TPS. Number three, cruise control. If we ever wanted to add cruise control to the Evo 8, which of course does not come factory on 8s and 9s, very simple to do with a drive-by-wire setup. If you want to add cruise control to a drive-by-cable setup, it's kind of a pain. You have an external box. It's doable. It's not really efficient. Number four, the pedal feel on a drive-by-wire setup is much, much smoother, cleaner, just higher quality feeling, I guess you could say, over a drive-by-cable setup, especially when you have an aftermarket throttle body like we do, which requires stiffer springs to keep the throttle plate closed. It's not a good feel when you're driving the car. So that's the fourth. Five, safeties. When you're running a Haltech, you have the extreme advantage of very high-tech safeties, low oil pressure, high coolant temps, just a million different things that the ECU can see. As soon as it is outside of its operating parameters, it'll kill the motor. A throttle cut is a very, very useful tool for those safeties, which you can't do by a mechanical drive-by cable, but you can very, very easily do with a drive-by-wire setup. You can do traction control with drive-by-wire, you can't with drive-by cable. There's a million different things. And in my opinion, there's not one single advantage of having drive-by cable versus drive-by-wire. If your drive-by-wire is set up properly, it's far superior to drive-by cable. I could go on and on with the advantages. That's the gist of it. That's why I'm installing it. With that being said, let's get to wiring. Now this is gonna be the more difficult part, you could say. So we have 6 wires from the throttle pedal, which is this little diagram right here. ACC stands for accelerator pedal. We have 6 wires, 5 volt, APP1, a ground, 5 volt APP2, and a ground. And then for the throttle body side, we also have 6 wires, motor negative, ground, 5 volt, motor positive, TPS 1 and TPS number 2. So those 6 wires are gonna run back to the Haltech, the ECU. These 6 wires run back to the ECU as well. This here is our Haltech map. I already went through and assigned the pinout, the wiring that's gonna connect back to the ECU. Now we need to build our harness. It's gonna be one harness for both. Say the ECU is over here, we're gonna have the harness that comes here. It's gonna split off, go to the pedal. The harness is gonna go in the factory throttle cable location through the firewall and connect to the throttle body, which is gonna be perfect because that right there is the location for the factory throttle cable. And right there is where the throttle body mounts. It's gonna be a very nice and clean setup. Let me go ahead and get this harness built up and I'll show you guys at the end of it how everything looks. Very simple harness is now complete. That's for the throttle pedal. I will run this through the firewall as is, and then I will put the connector on, but this is for the throttle body. And then this side over here connects to the ECU. So let's go ahead and get this thing wired up. We will have to make a few changes in the tune, the map for this car. Of course, now we're not gonna have the idle air control valve. There'll be TPS adjustments, but we can deal with that after we get all this installed and verify that it works. The entire car is now wired. Here's the plug-in for the throttle body, comes through the factory throttle cable location, and there is the throttle pedal connector. I'm not gonna mount them yet. Let's just go ahead, plug these things in, and see if we can get it to calibrate on the Haltech software. So first we're gonna try and calibrate the throttle body. All we have to do is literally click calibrate, and it's gonna do its thing. Alrighty, throttle body calibrated out perfectly first try. I am, however, having problems with the throttle pedal. It is not calibrating at all, so I'm going to double check the wiring and then try again. Had a slight wiring issue on the pedal, and now that is calibrated out. Watch this. As soon as we hit the pedal, the throttle body should open. All that is left is to mount the body and mount the pedal. Now when it comes to mounting, we have a few adapters. This is the throttle body adapter. It just simply adapts from the body to a factory Evo 8 flange. And then to mount the pedal, instead of drilling into the firewall and doing some janky stuff there, Evo Spec Performance makes this very, very, very nice throttle pedal bracket. So these two holes here will mount to the firewall, and the pedal will mount to the other 3 holes. If you have a standalone in your car, it's so simple to convert to drive-by-wire. I don't think it's possible on a stock ECU. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. We are 100% done with the drive-by-wire assembly. There's how the throttle body looks. I really wish that adapter was silver. It would look much cleaner, but that doesn't look half bad. Moving inside, there's the Evo 10 pedal with the billet adapter that you probably can't see. Now, the fun part. Do you hear how much easier this thing starts? Before it would start and die like 800 times because the IACV, the idle air control valve, was junk. You hear that? Before we go drive the car, there is one important thing. I made a critical mistake and I'm really sad about it, if I'm being honest, being that we put so much effort into this car. When I put the turbo kit on, of course placement is a little bit different with everything, and I didn't come to verify that the exhaust wasn't hitting. And sure enough it was, and it melted the bumper, as you can see. So let's get the car up on the lift, see if we can get it cleaned up at all. I might just do a carbon bezel around that, but I need to get that exhaust dropped down just a little bit so it doesn't make it worse. Went ahead and got that dropped down about a ½ inch. While the car's still up in the air, let's see if the infamous leaky oil pan is leaky. That big glob of sealant that everyone gave me crap about, apparently that's the ticket. Gotta use 3-bond, and you have to use a nice thick bead because there's no leaks at all. Just the feel of the throttle pedal alone is well worth the upgrade. It's so worth it. It feels so much nicer now. Imagine how cool it would be, or maybe it's gonna be, if I go ahead and put cruise control on this thing. Obviously there's not many Evo 8s or 9s with cruise control, but I think that'd be pretty sweet. Obviously I'm not going to beat on it too much. She She needs a new tune for, of course, the whole turbo kit, now the throttle body, still on the same fuel system. I'm waiting on the bigger injectors to show up, and then that's really the last thing. Fuel system, tune, make 800 wheel, make 600 foot-pounds of torque because it's a 2.3, enjoy the car. These last few days, all the work we've put into this thing, it completely changed how I feel about this car. So much more enjoyable to drive. If you're debating going drive-by-wire on any car, not just the Evo 8 or 9, highly recommend. It's so simple to do. If you have a little bit of wiring knowledge, and it completely changes how the car feels, how the car drives. Very pleased.